Happy Easter to everyone who recognizes this holiday. This is supposed to be a time for family, egg hunts, religious services, and hopefully sun and temperatures on the rise. Not a time for a massive tornado outbreak. Hi, I'm Chris May, writer, producer, and host of This Day in Weather History from the Weather Network in Canada. Over a 2-day period spanning Easter Sunday and Monday, April 12th and 13th, of an already locked down and quarantined year 2020, tornadoes further ruined everything for those of the southeastern United States this day in weather history. It was as widespread as it was deadly. The Easter weekend tornado outbreak that brutalized the southeast United States provided several tornadoes that were ultimately responsible for triggering tornado emergency declarations, including the very first of its kind to be issued by the National Weather Service in Charleston, South Carolina. Throughout this 2-day outbreak, brace yourself, a total of 140 tornadoes touched down across 10 states. I know it's shocking, isn't it? And this caused widespread and locally catastrophic damage. These twisters were of every class of strength and intensity. The strongest was a high-end EF4, almost EF5, that battered southern Mississippi, whipping up winds of 190 miles per hour, that's 310 kilometers per hour, with a width of 2.25 miles, that's over 3.5 kilometers wide, and it caused 8 deaths. However, in the end, and spanning the entirety of the 10 states affected, this outbreak resulted in an ultimate total of 32 tornado-related fatalities. It was the deadliest tornado outbreak since April 27th through 30th of 2014. Remember that this day in weather history can be enjoyed a number of ways. Right now, you are listening to the full version of today's story on your favorite podcast provider, but there is also the daily podcast video short. They are shot right here in my podcast recording studio, so you get that perspective, and oftentimes they will include visuals from that day's event from when it happened in weather history. So after listening to the full story, go check out the podcast video short on television or online anytime at theweathernetwork.com/weather history. So, what happened? A powerful squall line brought the widespread severe weather outbreak across the South. It started Easter morning while kids should have been Easter egg hunting in the heat of the Gulf. It started in what is termed colloquially as the Ark-La-Tex region and spread eastward through the day. That's Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, for those that didn't know. Anyway, very high levels of wind shear and favorable instability built across the state of Georgia by Sunday evening ahead of this powerful storm system. This was the billowing of the fuel pumped into the engine that is the frontal passage. As the storms moved across the Peach State from Sunday evening through early Monday morning, numerous tornadoes touched down and widespread thunderstorm wind damage brought down trees and power lines. In this isolated portion of the vast outbreak, 21 tornadoes had been confirmed across the Atlanta area, including 2 rated as high as EF3. Here now are a few of the more noteworthy stories to come out of this colossal outbreak. The Chattanooga tornado. This tornado began just north of Somerville, where multiple trees were snapped and uprooted. There was a 10,000-pound camper that was overturned, while shingles and aluminum siding was literally stripped clean from nearby houses. When the tornado was at its peak of strength and intensity, the 120 to 125 mile per hour winds caused damage to several other homes. A 2-story house suffered serious damage when it lost its second story and roof. Elsewhere, a Jeep was thrown more than 50 yards, that's half a football field, from its original location. The Murray tornado. This tornado touched down in west central Murray County, snapping and uprooting several trees as well. At the tornado's peak intensity, it reached an EF2 classification, packing max winds of around 125 miles per hour. As a result, at least 8 double-wide manufactured homes were destroyed, along with additional manufactured homes. Communications were disrupted when a cell tower was crumpled to bits in the strong winds. The Dade County, Alabama tornado. It was an EF1 that touched down near the town of Higdon, then proceeded to travel almost 2 miles before crossing the state border into Georgia. Along that border, several trees were downed. The pillars from the front of a home were blown away, and an RV was flipped over, totally destroying the vehicle. The tornado continued northeast all along the way, damaging, snapping, and uprooting trees and felling even many more onto several houses. The Monroe County Tornado. This tornado was actually a regeneration from the same storm that caused the Upson County EF3. This portion of the track was rated, albeit an EF0. The tornado wound itself up quickly northeast of Highway 41 into an EF3 again. As it moved on and destroyed a large 100-foot by 150-foot metal building, nearby, several cars were flipped and thrown like toys, including a Jeep that was thrown into a small home that was next to that metal building. A small plane was destroyed, a mid-sized tractor was flipped over, and a boat was thrown from the tornado at this location. High-end EF1, EF2 tree damage occurred in the same area surrounding this location and to the northeast of the building. It was a total wipeout. This Easter weekend in weather history. Tomorrow, on April 14th of 2019, wine growers in Burgundy, France, set fires to their fields to fight the frost on their vines as a cold front swept the area. Did it work, or was it crazy? We'll find out tomorrow on This Day in Weather History with me, your host, Chris May.